My name's Keith Ingram. I'm an elementary school principal. I've been in education about 25 years. And recently, after attending the church here at his hands, I guess we've been here about a year, we had a particular message on tithing, and it spoke to me in a different way than I'd ever had tithing presented to me. And it basically called me out to do something beyond the walls of the church. And I've always been pretty good about doing things in the church. You probably see me greeting people or ushering and trying to make them, feel comfortable when they come in. But this particular message seemed to draw me out and take me out of my comfort zone. And that particular weekend, just prior to that, we had started school. And the children had all come back. And this one individual came back to school late, after school had started. And we started talking with him and his mom and his brother and sister. We realized they didn't have any school supplies. I mean, no books, no paper, nothing at all. So we went into our back closet and pulled out 3 book bags and a pile of paper and pencils and things like that. And we thought that was the immediate need, and we were being good, and we handled that and took care of it, and they were all excited and happy to start school with supplies. And as the conversation carried on, we realized they had been displaced from their prior home and basically had the clothes on their backs and one change of clothes, and that's all they had to start school with. So we got their sizes and shoe sizes and all that kind of stuff and sent out an email to my staff at school, and basically within 48 hours we had all of their school supplies met as far as clothing and things that they would need to start school. So at that point we were feeling pretty good. We thought that's what we were called to do, and that was sort of extraordinary at that point. But then as we talked to the family and found out more, we found out they had some really big needs, and this is where my thought process and my heart opened up, sort of like in the movie Pay It Forward, where you do a kind thing for someone and you don't really expect anything from that, but at the same time, we felt like we were going to be able to bless this family. We weren't sure how we were going to do that because we really didn't have a plan. We just knew that they had some needs. So I wrote a letter to a couple of different people and friends and family members and basically pled our case for this family, that they needed some assistance. Someone gave us money from the church here right off the bat as soon as we asked, and someone gave us a refrigerator, and that just sort of snowballed. It's like, wow, that was so easy. Let's go ask for something else that God needs to provide for. And by those people planting that seed of, good things happening right off the bat, it just kept rolling. And I have a church that meets in my school, and they rent from our school. And I basically asked the pastor if I could present this as a project for his church to do. And this is way out of my comfort zone. So I did a walkthrough with the mom, and I took 4 pages of notes that I typed up, and basically it was going to be a full-blown remodel of the house. It's a 1975 ranch house, and 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and I think only half of 1 bath worked. And there was mold problem, bug problem, everything. There was a problem just about in every room. So it was a major undertaking. I am not a handyman. But God told me to go ahead. It's sort of like He used the person that had the heart, and it didn't matter if you had the talent or not. And I definitely did not have the talent to do construction work. That is not my gift at all. But the pastor said yes, that I could speak, and it was all in timing. It was within days after we had the message on tithing at our church that I talked to the gentleman in the church, and basically that was on Monday. And on that Monday, after the Sunday, we basically pitched the idea that they would come in and support this mom and the 3 kids for the next year and make them like a mission for them right there inside their own confines of the community where they were trying to serve. And they pledged that they would go in and renovate the house. The quick Reader's Digest version is basically we tore everything out that was not good and took out sheetrock and insulation and flooring and decking and cabinets and trim and wood frames. We took out 13 doors and put in 13 doors. We basically gutted the house and put it back together. It was over 3 weekends and 2 weeks, and we pulled this off and displace the family for the shortest period of time that we could. They stayed at some neighbors' houses that took them in. People took time away from their jobs. They took days off. They came after work, and that just showed so much love and compassion for this family. And people gave up their Saturdays and even their Sundays to come over there and try and, some of them gave up their Labor Day. We worked through Labor Day. I mean, that's a very special day to do nothing. And there they were laboring for someone else. And basically last weekend at 7 o'clock, we gave them the keys to their house back, and basically they have a brand new house. Every room has been painted. Every room has got carpet or tile in it. They've got 2 new bathrooms, showers that actually work now. And probably the biggest surprise that we were able to pull off to show you how bad the situation was, she had a 25-year-plus old gas heater that wouldn't work, and we put in a heating and air unit so they have air conditioning in their house, which we all take for granted now, but here it is. You know, it's been 100 degrees all these days. They were so thrilled and so grateful of all the work that was done for them. When you see the emotion on the kids' faces when they're coming up the steps and they can see, like, oh my gosh, there's paint on the walls. It was the darkest 1975 house you could have with the darkest carpet, the darkest stain around the door trim, and very depressed place. But we've prayed over it and blessed it, and they're really excited to be in it now. We thought we were going to bless them, everybody that was involved, and we've talked about this since it's just happened this past weekend. But because of this, 2 churches have joined together. People from other walks of life have joined together. We've had contractors come in and volunteer their time, and it's just been a God thing all the way through from start to finish. Just like some of the different characters in the Bible that God called them out, a lot of times they looked over their shoulder thinking, you must be talking to the other guy that's behind me. And I always thought that when a pastor said certain things or the Holy Spirit came upon me or something, it was like, you're always talking to somebody else to go to Africa. Please, not me. But this time I really felt the moving in a sense that I had to step out of my comfort zone and do something that was out of my area of expertise. God was all over this. All over this. We had some legal fees that we needed to find out about to help the mom in her situation. And I asked the lawyer, I said, can you tell me what your fee's going to be for us to go forward with this? She goes, it's going to be $2,000. I hung up the phone. Right there in my office, I was shaking. I was like, we don't have the money. We're going to have to take the money from the renovation, and we're not going to be able to do anything. And then I stopped there and I said, God, I know you're a huge God. You're going to make this right. And I said, tell me what to do besides pray. And he just said, pray. So I said, God, I want, with your blessing, $2,000 to solve this problem, and I need it really fast. 15 minutes later, the pastor of the other church came through on the phone as I'm literally picking up my books to go meet the lawyer with the mom. He goes, Keith, we've got another check that we collected from Sunday service, and it's now going to give you $2,000 more. That's 15 minutes after I prayed for it. It's been thing after thing after thing, event after event after event that have happened. People were giving us stuff that we just barely even knew. We had a contractor come in and sprayed all the ceilings for us for free. And the only reason he did is he saw some kids that were working hard out throwing stuff in the dumpster, and they were the kids that lived at the house. They were helping clean up late into the night. And he said, wow, these kids are working hard. I want to do something for them. Going outside of that comfort zone of church family and going out and loving people that, as Jesus would say, were the unlovely, they had lots of problems. And this would have been an easy thing to turn away from and just give them a few things and say it's their problem. They've got to get themselves pulled up by the bootstraps. But because of the message that was spoken here and the receptiveness, fortunately for me, to actually listen and then put it into action, now it's been able to change those 3 kids' lives probably forever. It sure wasn't my plan, because it was obviously God's plan, totally God's plan. I just saw the need, and I'll never be the same after that.